Hey everyone, I'm back again with another r/Surviving Infidelity, and this one is titled, Found Out She Was Cheating on Me on Christmas Eve. Please make sure you like the video and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. Let's get right into it. I'm not sure how long this post will be. I just want to say what happened in the hopes that it will make me feel even a little bit better and provide some catharsis. Some quick background first. My now ex-wife and I have been together for 6 years, and were married in February of this year. I thought we were a fantastic couple. We did a lot of things together. I always endeavored to be a consistently interesting person. I took her on random dates to new places and peppered little romantic gestures every now and then. About 4 to 5 months ago, after becoming upset over the lack of friends in her life aside from me, she met a new group of friends through an online meetup group. I was super supportive of this, since one person alone shouldn't be your only source of happiness. Anyway, a month or so passes, and there seemed to be one guy in that group she began to spend more and more time with. Admittedly, I got a bit jealous, but I thought, what the hell? I trust her completely, and she's entitled to friends. I wasn't prepared to interfere in that. Weeks pass, and now she is going around to his house, which he shared with other housemates. She would apparently play board games with this guy and the other housemates, and would occasionally send me pictures of what she was up to there, which helped allay some of my concerns. However, by this point, red flags were beginning to pop up all over the place, and my gut was telling me something wasn't right. She would spend most evenings texting this guy on her phone. She'd take her phone into the shower with her. Also, on multiple nights, she would say she was tired and that she was going to bed early. Yet, I'd go in to grab something from the bedroom a couple of hours later and see her still lay awake on her phone, probably talking to this guy. By this point, I was feeling extremely uncomfortable with the situation. I thought the amount of time she was spending at this guy's house, particularly after spending a day out with him, was beyond inappropriate. So I decided to speak to her. I told her my concerns and that I didn't mind her being friends with this guy, but she needed to rein it in. She accused me of being jealous and needy. She told me that she enjoyed spending time with this guy and that they had a lot in common. Fast forward another week or so. She tells me she's going into town to find a present for her niece and leaves. My gut was telling me she was lying. Now, I knew where this guy lived because I actually dropped him off after a night out one night. So I went to his house. My heart dropped into my stomach when I saw her car parked outside. I began hyperventilating and panicking. I felt drunk as I walked back to my car. On the drive home, I was crying uncontrollably. I was so out of it, I almost had an accident after running a red light. When I got back, I tried to regain my composure. I paced for a while and started to calm down. Not long afterwards, she called me. I asked her how her day was, and she said it was good, but she wasn't able to find a present for her niece. I wonder why. I told her to come home immediately. She asked why, and I said I needed to speak to her. When she came through the door, I asked her if she really had been into town to look for presents. She continued her pretense and lied again. I told her I knew where she'd been. Her expression turned from confusion to shock instantly. She sat down and explained to me that she'd just been around there for coffee and a chat. I asked her why she lied to me, and she said that she didn't want to compound my jealousy and insecurity. I'm still stunned that she said this. What could compound insecurity more than lying about your whereabouts and going to another man's house? She insisted that nothing at all happened, that she was considering my feelings and just wanted to be with her friend without me worrying about what she was doing. Well, like the idiot I am, I believed her. By this point, I was certain that I was being needlessly jealous and clingy. Little did I know that she was gaslighting me. Yet another week passes and I'm in work. She texts me to ask if it's okay with me to go around to this guy's house again after she finishes work for a coffee. She finished work a few hours before me, so I thought fine, I won't be home anyways, and told her to go for it. Later that day, while I was sat in traffic on the way home, I get another text. This time, she tells me she's stopping over at his for dinner. I became incensed. I blew up at her over text, telling her I didn't want her to come back tonight and for her to just stay there. I told her that by this point it was clearly an emotional affair at the very least. She asked me why I was doing this, and I told her that I'd been putting with this for 2 months now, and the whole situation was making me feel constantly nauseous and that something was seriously wrong. For my gut was screaming at me. She pleaded with me to let her come home so we could talk. I said no and didn't speak to her again until the following night. Like the idiot I am, I texted her saying I'd made a massive error of judgment and that she could come home. When she came back, she told me that I'd seriously damaged our relationship and that she doesn't know if she could trust me again. I wanted so hard to tell her that that's exactly what she did by lying a week prior, but I bit my tongue, chalking it down to my jealousy issues arising again. I apologized for my actions and things slowly started to go back to normal, or so I thought. Around December 20th, she tells me that she was going to go to her sister's late on Christmas Eve to spend time there on Christmas Day with her and her niece and nephew. However, she wanted to spend a good couple of days with me first, and wanted us to spend the 23rd and 24th together, with that being our Christmas. I was upset that she wouldn't be here on Christmas Day, but I respected her wishes and went through with it. Those 2 days ended up being really nice. We cooked Christmas dinner together, made some snacks, watched Netflix and snuggled. I enjoyed it so much. She was due to head off to her sister's at around 6 on Christmas Eve. I helped her pack a few things, but all of a sudden I had this realization about something. She told me her sister was due back at home at around 6 because she was going shopping. But I also remembered that this guy finished work around 6. Immediately, my suspicions kicked into overdrive, but I tried to kick it back down. She wouldn't go to his house on Christmas Eve. She wouldn't be so callous as to leave me over Christmas, would she? I decided to once again ignore my gut and put it down to jealousy and insecurity. If I accused her of potentially doing such a thing, I could have jeopardized the relationship. So I sucked it up. Before she left, I surprised her with a few presents. They were all things I knew she'd love. She said she felt really guilty because she couldn't afford to get me anything this year. I said it was okay and that I bought them for her not because I expected something in return, but because I loved her and wanted her to have them. We kissed and she said goodbye. That was the last time I'll hopefully ever see her. A few hours after she left, I remembered I had to respond to an email, so I jumped on Gmail, only she had left herself logged in on the computer. What I found absolutely crushed me. For whatever reason, she had downloaded the WhatsApp chat between herself and the other guy onto her Gmail. I opened it and read through. This had been going on for almost 2 months. What started out as light flirting descended into texting. She was saying how she loved being with him and cuddling him on his sofa when they watched a film. She said how she would send him dirty pictures if it motivated him to get home sooner. She requested pictures of him, videos of him showing off and masturbating. He sent her D-pics and she'd sent him who knows how many nudes. This goes on for weeks. At the beginning of December, they apparently slept together. What's doubtly the gut-wrenching is the fact that judging by the timestamps, she was saying how much she enjoyed it during a time I was sat in the living room with her. Towards the end of the messages, which ended around December 18th, they were both saying how they can't wait to be together. The guy even said she should steal my PC and VR headset before she goes because he wants to play it. Her response was haha. At this point, I was suffering a massive emotional breakdown. In the midst of it all, I decided to check her location history through Google, and it confirmed my suspicions. She was at his house that very moment. She left me on Christmas Eve to be with this guy. To add yet more salt to the wound, I scrolled down her emails and found that she'd ordered a t-shirt for this guy as a Christmas present, despite telling me she couldn't afford to buy me anything. There was no doubt in my mind now that this relationship was finished. I called her to tell her I knew what was going on, but before I did, I asked her where she was, to see if she'd finally fess up. She told me that she couldn't deal with this mistrust anymore, and that she was at her sister's. She lied to me and convinced me I was the one in the wrong right up until the end. I told her about the conversations she'd been having with this guy, how she gaslighted me and caused a massive emotional breakdown. Despite seeing me in such a state, she continued to lie to me and offered me no support. The woman I'd supported for 7 years through some dark times offered me nothing in return at a time I'd needed her the most. As I was saying all this, she remained mostly silent, with only an occasional "I know" coming through. I ended the call by telling her I never wanted to see her again. I also discovered through her WhatsApp exchange that she told her sister what was going on, and her sister said nothing to me. She remained complicit in the whole thing. I just can't believe it. What a disgraceful family. Yesterday, I packed all of her stuff into bags and simply left it in the garden for her to collect whenever she wants. I haven't damaged any of her property, though it took a Herculean effort not to. I am better than that. Right now, I'm in a very dark place. I cry seemingly at random with just minor triggers. I've been having what I think are panic attacks. My heart beats really fast when I lie in bed. I feel constantly sick. I even woke up twice a couple of nights ago, panic-stricken and in a state of confusion that she was in the house and looking for me. I am utterly devastated and broken. I am hoping to move on from this, but I'm scared it will taint all future relationships, and that this betrayal will haunt me for the rest of my life. She's ruined me. Wow, this is a long post. I apologize. Thank you guys for watching. Please comment below and let me know if there's any other subreddits you guys would like me to make videos on, and also like the video and please subscribe.